man's not great because he has never fallen, but a man's great because he has gotten back on his feet every single time. Welcome back to everyone, my name is Ivan, and this channel I help young men go through a journey of becoming extraordinary. Okay, so today's video is going to be broken down into 3 different steps that you can walk through each of them as you wish. The very first one is going to be fake it until you make it, and why it doesn't work. So the very first thing that I want to get clear is that self-affirmation doesn't work for confidence. Because you see a lot of people on TikTok and on YouTube talking about, oh, do affirmations, just scream out great things about yourself in front of the mirror and then you'll become confident. No, it doesn't work. There's this quote from Alex Hormozy that I really like to define confidence. So, confidence is not shouting affirmations in front of the mirror. Confidence is having a stack of undeniable truths that prove that you are who you say you are. And I think that that's one of the best ways you can look at confidence overall, just because confidence doesn't come from just believing that you're someone that in reality you're not. Confidence comes from being good at something. Confidence comes from just you knowing that you can do something and you saying that thing and being true about it. You shouldn't feel confident if you're not good at anything. Confidence is a privilege, not a right. I remember that in my first year of university, there was this one person that I got along with pretty well, but he was kind of a loser, if I'm being honest. Like, he was laying on his bed every single day, smoking weed, just playing on his phone, and he was really, really bad at studying, if I'm honest. And one day he told me, Ivan, I want to change my life. I want to get in shape. Do you have any training programs that you could share with me? And me being the person that I am, I wanted to help him out like the best way possible. So I sent him like a 10-minute voice note of what things he should avoid, what things he should do. And I also sent him my Notion workout tracker, which is the Notion template that I use in order to just get started in the gym and build the confidence that I now have in some part. And to build this big ass guns, which are not that big, like I'm not the biggest gym bro. But going back to the story, he told me, Ivan, but I don't really feel confident about myself. I just see the way that you talk to people and I want to be like you, but I just don't feel confident enough. And the next thing that I thought was, well, of course you don't feel confident. Like, you shouldn't feel confident because right now you're shit. Of course I didn't tell him that I'm not a monster, but that was the first time when this idea sparked in my mind, and it is that you cannot feel confident if you're not competent. If you feel confident about something that you really don't have any proof that you're good at, you're just being delusional. You're just being in this fairy world inside of your own mind that doesn't really exist. So every pinch of confidence that you have in your mind should be correlated to some piece of action that you have done in the past that has positioned you in that authority to say that, okay, I'm good at this, so I feel good about it. And also, I see that a lot of people, and me in the past as well, confuse arrogance with confidence. And those are 2 completely different things. Arrogance could be explained as feeling like you're better than anyone in the room, which is completely false because there's always going to be someone better than you. But confidence, on the other hand, is knowing that you don't need to be better than everyone in the room in order for you to feel good about yourself. So now that we know the reason why we should build the confidence and not fake it in the first place, let's just get into what types of confidence they are. And there are 2 main types of confidence. The first one is external based confidence. This is the quickest way you can achieve confidence and also the most superficial, most fragile way. I'm not gonna lie to you, if I wear a good suit, if I drive a nice car, if I pull up in good shoes and a good watch, I feel good about myself, okay? This is a universal law for everyone. If you dress in a way that makes you feel confident, if you drive a car that makes you feel good about yourself, of course you're gonna feel good. But at the moment that those things are gonna be taken away from you, that confidence vanishes and your confidence will disappear. These things that are easily available for everyone and everyone can fake having, well, not very easily, because like $100,000 car is not that easy to fake. Well, you could rent it, but you know what I'm saying. It's not like building a nice physique with a 6-pack. That thing you cannot buy, okay? That thing you can only build. You have to see these things as multipliers, okay? If you are a really good person and you have real confidence underneath that skin of yours, you're gonna be boosted by these external things. You're gonna feel better in a way just because of these things. You know that you can live without them, of course, but if you get them, you're gonna feel better about yourselves. But there's the caveat. If you're someone who doesn't have real confidence, who doesn't have any proof of who they say they are, you're gonna become a smaller person because of this. you're going to become someone worse, because all of your entire personality, all of your confidence comes from the external validation, which is very, very bad. You need to get to a point where your brain works like this, okay? You know that you're good, you know that you're competent, you know that you're confident, and all of these things are nice and are going to boost your confidence, but if they're taken away, you're completely fine without them. Your personality, your attitude, nothing will change if those things are stripped away from you. And then there's the internal confidence. This is where things get good. This is the type of confidence you want to build the most. The internal confidence is ability and knowledge based. These are things that you gain in your mind. These are the knowledge that you learn in school. This is the physique that you build in the gym. These are things that people cannot take away from you. And as I have said before, in order to be confident, you need to be competent as well. And no, I'm not telling you to be a master at everything, because that's not possible. A jack of all trades, master of none. But you can be confident in the way you approach things, because if you have done all of these things that back you up into saying, okay, I'm very good at this certain fields in life, I have higher chances of being good in this other field because I have put effort and time into all of these things, so that they prove that I'm somewhat competent in learning new things. So that's a confident attitude. So everything adds up. The better you become in one area of your life, the better chances you have of being better in another area. So every single thing that you do counts. Not only the things that you think count are going to count. This is something that I grabbed from Brian Tracy. It is called the compound effect or something like that. Well, no, it's not the compound effect. What is it called?
One of the greatest success principles of all time is called the law of accumulation.
So everything counts. Every single action that you do on your daily basis counts. Not only the things that you want to count counts, because the donut that you've eaten this morning counts as well. And the life doesn't care if you're on a cheat day. That life doesn't care if you really, really wanted that donut and it was the best donut that was in the entire world. The only thing that life cares about is that you have eaten that donut. The same thing applies for the positive things as well. If you're someone who is disciplined and wakes up every single morning early in order to do his work and then go to your job and just have a nice attitude overall, everything will count. And everything will translate into a later result that will be shown on the actions that you make on your everyday basis. Going back to what I was saying, the confidence that you have depends so much on the circle that you're moving yourself around in. Okay, let's make an example. Let's say that you're someone who just doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, who is very healthy, runs every single day, who meditates and do all this stuff. But then you're put into a group of people. The only thing that these people do is just to smoke weed and drink alcohol. In this situation, chances are you're not going to be feeling as confident as you usually are. And why is that? You're just logically doing all the right things, right? Well, there's something called the social hierarchy. If you put yourself into a circle of people who have certain social hierarchy rules, in this scenario, it might be whoever drinks the most and is able to extend the most alcohol is the highest status person, you're going to feel left out, because you don't belong in that circle. So naturally, in that circle, you'll feel that your confidence is going to plummet down to the ground. But if you surround yourself with people who have the same interests as you, who go on runs, who meditate, who also like going to the library and studying, who like just exercising overall and being healthy and having this healthy lifestyle, your entire personality, your entire confidence will seem just boosted, because there's more people like you. You feel a sense of community, so that helps you feel like you belong to a group, you belong to a tribe in this entire world. So that's another way that you can increase your confidence, finding people who are more like you. So going back into theme, this is the type of confidence that you want to build and you want to spend your time on. The type of confidence that people cannot take away from you, the knowledge, the effort that you put into something, all of the non-tangible things that you cannot see but make you the person who you are. Okay, now why don't we get into some actions that you can do in order to feel confident? Okay, the 3 fundamental actions that I have done in the past in order to turn myself into a confident and charismatic person are these. The first one is the body. This is not a joke. I was a skinny fat kid. I had the typical Middle East Asian body with thick legs and just a skinny torso, but also a skinny fat, because I was like 23, 24% body fat, but also you would look at me and I was looking like this very, very skinny kid. Okay, very thin neck, very thin arms, but big ass butt and big ass legs. So that's something that you want to fix in your life. If you build a physique that you're proud of, because look at me, look at these guns. Having confidence in your body is not so much about being as big as possible. It's not so much about being the fastest runner, about being the heaviest lifter. It's more about just knowing that you're capable of doing stuff, knowing that you're capable of making changes, of going from place A to place B. And the way that I did this at 16 years old, it was that I looked in the mirror and I said, okay, I'm not proud of being this person. I'm not really confident in my body. So what would I do? Instead of crying myself and say that a society is oppressing me, this is not right. People should normalize like fat bodies and stuff. Instead of crying like a crybaby, instead of just being a pussy about it, I made a change and put myself through the hardship of just getting the body that I was comfortable with. And something that has really helped me with this is the workout tracker that I have on Notion. This is something that really has helped me because I could see the progress that I was making. I could be consistent every single day with my gym just sessions. And this just made me feel like I was doing something for myself. It was making me feel proud about the progress that I was making. So if you want to check it out, it's linked in the description below. But seriously, you could use any free tracker on the internet. There are tons of them. And please, for the love of God, don't do the things that the cringy ass YouTube videos tell you, like how to be an alpha male. First step, just stand as wide as possible. Second step, walk slowly with a big swing. Like, please stop doing that. People can see through it. People can see that that's not the real you. So you look just like a weird, stupid weirdo. But if you're interested in body language, there's this book that is really, really good that will teach you the essentials of how you should behave and how you should put your body in order to command certain things that you want in life. So the book is called What Everybody Says. It's by Joey Navarro, a former CIA agent, and it's a book that I really recommend you read. Next area of life in which you should work on in order to feel more confident is your job or your school. I dropped out of my very first year of university in business administration because I thought that I was the highest level entrepreneur that you could ever find. Turns out I was wrong. And I dropped out with the idea that I was a bad student. I dropped out with the idea that I was not clever enough, that studying was not something meant for me. And every single time that they would ask my mom, like, oh, what's your son doing? What's he studying? How's he doing in school? I could see that in her eyes, she had like this, not proudness. She was a little bit ashamed of me. And that was a little sad because I know that I could do better. Like every mother's dream, every Asian mother's dream would be to brag about his son's achievement, his school achievement to her friends. And I was not capable of doing that for my mom at that moment. So that's something that really made me sad and just, I felt ashamed of myself in that moment. So 2 years later, I decided, okay, it's time for me to go back and I need to go full throttle. I need to prove to myself that I can be anything that I want. I could be a great student. This is one of the dreams that I had when I was a kid, of becoming one of the greatest students in my class. That was something that really, really it stuck inside of me when I was like 13, 14 years old. And I wanted to prove that for myself. So 2 years later, at 20 years old, I went into university and I studied computer engineering. And just 2 years after dropping out of university and thinking that I was brain dead, thinking that I couldn't study anymore because my brain was broken, I achieved my 4th academic award in my degree. So a lot of my confidence comes from that, comes from me being good, being competent in that area of my life in university. Like I'm in the top. Honestly, I'm in the top, I don't want to say 5% of my class because maybe that's a stretch, but definitely 10% of my class. I'm like one of the highest performers in my class of 150 people, maybe 170, something like that. And one of the greatest feelings as a son is having your parents being proud of you. And I can see that my mom is very, very happy for me and she's very, very proud that her son is one of the best performers in class. I can see it in her eyes and he talks about me with her friends and stuff. So that's something very cool also. The next area of your life that I think is the most important one in order to build confidence is interpersonal relationships. And honestly, out of the 3 that we have talked about, I think that this one is the most important because you can be a little bit out of shape. You can be not so just competent, but if your social skills are on point, you're going to get very far in life. In my first year of university, I was elected the deputy of the computer engineering school. So I was representing all of the students. And I remember that I met this one person. He was the deputy of the finance section of the university. And let me say, he was not very competent. He was not very in shape, but he was the most charismatic person that you could ever meet. I thought that I was charismatic. I thought that I knew a lot of people inside of university, but this one person, I'm not lying to you, everybody knew him. And let me tell you, when you're known by a lot of people, it's almost kind of weird when people don't know about you. So I remember that we were sitting in the cafeteria, and every single time that we would mention to someone new who would come into our university, come into our class, oh, do you know this person? Do you know the deputy of whatever? He would say like, no, who's that? And everyone would turn around and say, what? You don't know him? And that just creates an aura of mystery to your persona overall. Because think about it, in what situation it's weirder, it's more weird for someone not to know who you are rather than them to know who you are. That just speaks volume of the person you are. And a lot of people make this mistake when they're trying to become charismatic and know more people. And it is that they make everything about themselves. They try to talk and talk about themselves, and they try to just make everyone know who they are. Like, it seems logical, right? In order to make people know who you are, you need to talk about yourself. Well, no, this is completely wrong. In order to have charisma, in order for people to want to be around you, you need to make everything about the other person. You need to make the other person feel good when they are around you. You genuinely have to care about others. And you cannot fake it because people can see right through your eyes. People can see the moment that you drift away because the only thing you can think about is watching TikTok, playing video games, and watching porn. The book that I would recommend you read in order to build your social skills a bit more is called How to Win Friends and Influence People. I know, terrible name. This book will help you develop your social skills in a way. You don't have to follow strictly every single rule of the book because some of those are a little bit just weird, if I'm being honest. Like, they don't really work in the real world. Like, say their names in every single conversation. Like, hi, Mike, how are you doing, Mike? Can you pass me the cheese, Mike? Like, that just seems kind of weird and you seem a little bit robotic. But just most of those things that you read in the book are good, and just select the ones that you really like and implement them into your life. And as always, stay patient because your prophecy is unfolding. I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.